Okay, let's talk about something kind of interesting here. If you know someone who seems a little or even a lot off, he or she could be a sociopath. Let's lay this out. A sociopath lacks empathy, lacks a conscience, has no regard for anyone but him or herself. They don't feel compassion or even fear. Dexter, perfect example, but most don't fall into the Dexter category. While most serial killers and mass murderers are sociopaths, most sociopaths are not killers. They're just crazy enough to make life difficult for you. And there are a lot of them. Studies suggest 1 in 25 Americans are sociopaths.
Yes, but 1 in 25 means 4%.
That's enough for me.
That's enough to make you crazy.
That's better than 25%.
That means there's about 25 people in this room right now.
Oh, no.
So somebody in here is a sociopath. And there are signs that you can look for. I know, he may be right in front of your eyes.
Yes, but a sociopath is not a psychopath. I would never be violent. I just have no emotion,
no
sympathy.
Listen, this is why we're talking about sociopaths, because it is so common. And there are signs you can look out for that you may be dating someone or know someone who is. And the first red flag is having an oversized ego.
Uh-oh.
So what does that mean, you guys? Narcissist to the extreme, right?
Well, right. Ego literally means that it's your identity, the way you distinguish and separate yourself from other people. But if you think you're superior to other people and you want everything to be about you, that's an oversized ego.
Okay.
It means it's not healthy.
All right, the second red flag, lying and exhibiting manipulative behavior on a regular basis. So this is somebody who sometimes lies just to lie, right?
Absolutely, and when we look at this disorders and we want to diagnose something, again, we look at duration, intensity, and frequency. How often is it happening? When is it happening? Is it 5 times a day? Is it 20 times a day? Is it 3 times a week? Is it 7 times a week?
Sociopaths are pathological liars. That means they're lying all the time and they can't, to them, they don't even realize they're lying. They just
there is no
create
difference.
it.
Yes. Here's another red flag, a lack of empathy, guilt, or shame. You don't have that connection.
They have no conscience, they have no way to feel someone else's pain, nor do they care about feeling someone else's pain.
And this is just second nature to them, so they don't even realize that
Some
they're
studies show that there is a disconnect in parts of the brain, and that's why they can't feel someone else's pain. That's why they don't have a conscience.
Okay. Yeah, and another red flag now, you may see this and be like, ooh, oozing charm, but only superficially. So they can be very charismatic and friendly because they know it'll help them get what they want. And they can blend in, too.
Yeah, and this is how we're deceived, because they are so charming and they are so manipulative, and they can get into our psyche so well that we put our guard down, and that's what happens. They're very charming.
Now this one, too, having intense eyes. And what that means is sociopaths have no problem with maintaining that uninterrupted eye contact that can kind of make you uncomfortable because they don't get that feeling.
Right.
And I think finally it's also important to recognize there's a difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. A psychopath is someone that actually commits violence, commits murder. A sociopath commits white-collar crimes. They just rip people off.
But can you have a relationship with a sociopath?
No, of
romantic
course
or not?
No.
No,
It's very difficult.
No.
So you might as well just cut the person off.
Send them to therapy.
Okay.